Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rekha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. So, Brother Izar, you with the Pittsburgh GMS camp, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rekha HaKodash. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. No, I'm kind of late on this lesson. Okay. It's relating to, well, I'll go into it briefly. All right. And Lord willing, this is edifying. Like I said before, a little late, but better late than never, right? So, Spirit had me watching this little video here. It's this guy, he's a pretty entertaining guy, LA try guy. He goes around LA trying different foods. I think he's a pretty funny guy. Of course, he eats abominations. You can see he's clean shaven. You know, the normal things you have to deal with. But all things considered, he seems very entertaining. But, okay, right here, he introduced to what they call in Jamaica round bun. Okay, he's eating what they have, a round bun and Jamaican cheese, right? Which tastes like cheddar cheese. Now, he's about to ask her a question, which brought this lesson back to mind that I wanted to do during the Pesach or before, or you know, around that time, but I wasn't able to. So I'm gonna hit play.
Bless and get it.
Wow. Wow. So what usually?
Them call him Joseph come.
Yeah. Using New
Call
Jersey
him.
for a minute. Okay. This smells like cheddar cheese a little bit. Is there usually like a specific like time of the year where people eat this?
Easter.
Easter. So this is like an Easter meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brought me back to the mindset of this lesson. You know, before the Pesach came in, I came across this bread. It's called Pascha bread. All right, and it's a really sweet, soft bread that they sell in the grocery store around the time of Easter or around the time of Pesach. Now, we understand that the Pesach, the Passover, goes into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay, and I just made the observation that, you know, as the scriptures tell us, okay, we're not ignorant. And so, like, I keep turning my head. I have two screens, so I'm trying to look at both. We're not ignorant. Okay. I gotta do something about this keyboard, man. Some of these letters is rubbed off. 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You know, and I just make it certain, brothers, you know, in general, we all make certain observations. You know, this devil's real clever. Now, of course, we understand during the time of Constantine, if I'm not mistaken, okay, Constantine and pagan holidays. Constantine never directly outlined paganism. In the words of an early edict, he decreed that polytheists could celebrate the rites of an outmoded illusion so long as they did not force Christians to join them. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, here we go. The newly converted Constantine, Emperor of Rome. Basically, you know, the story goes that he integrated a lot of paganist things and put a covering of Christianity over them while still allowing people to celebrate their very pagan ways of being. And, you know, one of these things that I came across, like I said, is this whole Pascha bread, okay, which is called Easter bread, Polish Easter bread. And they sell these things in the store, you know, and you know, you have people that actually believe that they're allowed to eat this yeast bread during the time of, you know, the Pesach, which is labeled Easter, which is a pagan holiday. And I went ahead and clicked on this video just to show you classic Ukrainian Pascha, and I just want to show that there is indeed yeast. I mean, you can tell by the structure of the bread, this big old poofy bread. But as you see, 15 grams of yeast, which that SAF is how you say yeast in another language. So I'm going to close that now. Right. So I just want to go into this a little bit. You know, as you read here, this confirms that these things are actually going into pagan holidays. Okay. This here says, incidentally, a collection of Ukrainian spells from our Ukrainian scholar library mentions 3 spells involving Pasky. Okay. Different recipes. So basically this goes back to a pagan holiday. Here's this one. Yellow Pascha was for the sun and sky. Pascha or whatever you want to call it. Pre-Christian origins of Pascha, now Easter bread. You know, the fact that there are people who believe that they can eat this bread shows you the wiles of the devil. The scripture tells us, let's get this. I think let's see if I can remember. Is it Isaiah 36 or 33? Let's go to 36 and see. Nope. That might be 33. If it ain't this, then I'm gonna Google it. No. Okay, I'm gonna go. Well, okay, that ain't it. Well, let's get turning. I be trying to remember these things. I'll be able to quote them. But the numbers, man, the numbers get me every time. Isaiah 29 is where it is. And 16 says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Okay, for shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding. So surely Esau's turning of things upside down is being esteemed as the way that the Most High intended it, as being esteemed as the potter's clay. The potter is the Most High, the clay is his creation, and the creator dictates how the creation should exist. But Esau, you know, being that he exalts himself above all things that are called the Most High, and thinks of himself to be the Most High, dictates what he thinks is right. And in this case, he's saying he's, you know, tricking people through his subtlety into eating yeast bread during the Passover, you know, and ultimately this is a way to get Jake to go off, okay, because you have Israelites scattered into all nations, and those people that are Polish or Ukrainian that are actually Israelites will ignorantly continue to eat this Pascha bread unless the Lord has mercy on them and awakens them to the fact that they're going off. And I ran across this. Listen, I'm going to read this definition over here. So this is Easter, you know. Now type in Pascha or I had to type Easter in order to find the word Pascha just to tie it in. Old English Easter day from Proto-Germanic Ostron, which means, so this is going to be interesting. Ostron, which means dawn, okay? Also possibly the name of a goddess whose feast was celebrated in Easter Monauo, the Anglo-Saxon month, April, east toward the sunrise, right? So this will be important in a little bit to shine, especially of the dawn. Now, if you go down here, Bede writes that Anglo-Saxon Christians adopted their name for their Mass of Christ's resurrection. Almost all neighboring languages use a variant of Latin Pascha to name this holiday, and then see Pascal. So we were getting into it, this Pascha bread. You see how this is what kind of triggered me to that. And this is actually the word for Easter in the Greek is Pascha, okay, which means the Passover, right? So this devil's very crafty. It says of or pertaining to Passover or Easter. Now this was never meant to be. This is a pagan holiday, this Easter, okay? From Old French Pascal, directly from Latin Paschalis, Pascha, Passover, Easter, Greek Pascha. So I pretty much made the point to Passover, boom, boom, boom. Right. So let's go back to this origins, the secrets. It says Pascha, its secrets, the start of Ukrainian Easter, pasta. So let's get it. Easter smells good, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it represents the vernal equinox. Incorporates many ancient rituals, including Ukrainian Easter eggs, which I didn't really go too deep into it, right? Connected with the bread. Old custom of baking. 3. Yellow was for the sun and sky. Now remember when we was reading in the etymology, it represented the dawn. It goes into the dawn and shining like the sun. Believing that the sun will give them health. Okay, and then you made one for the wind and one for the, so on and so. I'm doing a lesson. Give me a second. Let me pause this. All right. So anyway, Salaki about that. All right. Nevertheless, going. So that's all I want to go into. This is a pagan custom, and somehow this devil has gotten away with. I mean, come on, man. Of all things that this devil would try to pull off. Okay, in which, hey, man, let's get, at the end of the day, that's what he was created to do, and more as he's proven to have the spirit of the serpent in the garden. As the scriptures tell us, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field that Yahweh had created. Okay, which I believe that's Genesis 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 3:1. The serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Yahweh power had made. Okay, and the serpent represents a nation, a man who was from a nation of people, and that today that spirit is on Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And so it's no surprise we're not ignorant of his devices, but so it's no surprise to see that this nigga, the original nigga Esau, has tricked people into eating yeast bread during the time of the Passover, when you're supposed to eat bread that is unleavened. Look at that. The scriptures say that their plan, okay, and you got niggas that don't, but you got people that don't believe this. Okay, you got people that'll tell you crazy. If you say this to them, they'll call you crazy, and this is why the Bible's going to be banned. One of the reasons. Psalms 83:3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So, I literally said earlier in this lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what I said, look, we've been scattered in all nations. They understand that we have been hidden amongst the different nations, and you ain't going to be able to just look and say, this is an Israelite. No, because they're going to look Ukrainian. They're going to look Polish. They're going to look Asian. They're going to look different ways. And this is why the media will not allow groups who emphasize the Israelite foreigners to get on these different platforms. I'm not saying that it's not been recorded, because you would have to ask yourself a question and think: Are there clips? There probably are. I haven't seen them, and I would love to give them the benefit of the doubt that they exist. But think about this: Are there clips of Bishop Nathaniel and his group saying, well, look, an Israelite can look like anybody. An Israelite can look like this Asian guy. An Israelite can look like this East Indian guy over here. And an Israelite can look like this Hamite over here. You see, there should be more clips about this. So let's just get back to the point. Psalms 83:3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Why? Because the children of Israel have been hidden amongst all nations. So how do you get somebody that's been hidden? Well, you put certain things up, because what's the goal? Verse 4, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So they've agreed that we're gonna put up these different societal norms, these different ways to keep the children of Israel in sin. We're gonna put these things up, okay, into such a way that even though we can't identify directly who's an Israelite and who's not, they're gonna be sinning because it's normal to eat pork. Because you see what I'm saying? Because it's normal to eat packages of chips that got yeast in them or yeast bread during the time of the Passover. We're going to keep you sinning against your God so that you can be worthy of perishing. Okay, when you go into these different books, it tells you that our sins is what separates us from the Most High. Okay, the book of Jude, I believe, Jude 1. Is it in Jude? Must not be Jude. What is it? Lest their God be for them. I may have to type this in. Judith 5 and 20. Now therefore, my Lord, just click it. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. You think Esau don't know this? You think the powers that be don't know if they keep the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans and the hidden ones in the different nations that are known as the Israelite foreigners? You think they don't know if they keep us in sin that they can continue to destroy us? They know it. It's right here. It's written right here. The scriptures say they have made a diligent search. Okay, you think they don't know? They know. Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, Salakia, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. So, hey, this devil knows that if he keeps you in sin, then he's gonna win. All right, but if you ain't got no iniquity, then they ain't gonna be able to pick with thee. They ain't gonna be able to get with thee. There we go. Okay, they can't get with us when we ain't sinning. You feel me? So anyway, hey, Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. Call on you like Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Baruch Dash. The honor to the apostles, elders, a great millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopefully elect. Shalom, shalom, shalom.